my own world of make.
Over the course of weightlifting for the past couple years, I've never thought I had a real issue with the front rack position. Now, I've got a decent front rack position, like I can get 3 fingers underneath the barbell during the catch on a clean or a front squat, and I can get all the way to depth. Surprisingly enough, the thing that really changed my perspective about whether or not I had a good front rack or not is when I started to clean upwards of around 295 to 300 pounds. Because I don't really have an issue cleaning like 275 or 265 or 255. I never miss cleans at that weight. The misses don't really start occurring until, like I said, 300, 305, 308. And what I've come to find out is, for me anyway, I know all the YouTube weightlifters are the best of the best elite weightlifters that you've ever seen in your life. But like, just for me, just the sheer amount of weight increase from 255 to 308 was like all the difference in trying to get a full rack, like a full grip rack, or at least at minimum a 4-finger rack. And it wasn't until I started working on the 4-finger or the full grip rack was when I started to realize that for me, that's a more stable catch. And like, if you just look at just across the board on the elite weightlifting level, you will see probably, I would safely say about 95% of your lifters that you would see like in Worlds or in Nationals. Like, guys, I'm not saying we should just all start copying elite level weightlifters. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is I put it to the test for me personally, and I did find that when I started using a 4-finger or a full grip on my front squats and my cleans, I just found them to be a lot more stable and successful. So a couple of the warm-up sessions that I do in order to really like hone in on my mobility on the front squats is the very first thing I do is put it in the front rack position, and I just let my knees drive my elbows up as far as they can possibly go. So just like this here. And I literally just let gravity do its thing. I'm just letting myself sink down into the front squat and then letting my knees keep my elbows up. I normally do this for like 3 sets, and you can move the weight around however much you want. You can slide from left to right. Each person has their own level of difficulty when it comes to getting into this position here. You can put it down for a second. And for me, like my left side, I think I have like a prior injury over here on this side when it comes to like my shoulders and lats, because it's just like extra tight right underneath my armpits. And so that's just an extra area of emphasis I have to just make sure I zero in on when it comes to like foam rolling. Or sometimes I just take the bar and I literally just work out the kinks with the bar. A lot of times the foam roller really doesn't do a whole lot for me. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, it doesn't do a whole lot. And so I really have to use the barbell a lot to assist me in mobilizing. Okay, so after we've done that a few times, we can head over back to the bar and we could just do some pass-throughs underneath the bar with our elbows. Make sure you use a full grip. At this point in time, since there's no weight on the barbell, don't worry about necessarily the barbell touching your shoulders, but the main focus is to keep those elbows high and keeping a full grip. So don't worry about the barbell touching your collarbones or your shoulders at this point in time. We don't have any weight on the bar anyway. And then we can start doing the pass-throughs underneath. It feels good. All of these stretches that I'm doing right now, this seems really rudimentary. It seems like it's not really that important. But I would challenge you. I would ask you, how much weight are you cleaning? Because like you are probably thinking, or like you may be thinking, I'm catching my cleans just fine now. I'm not having any issues. But remember, I told you back at the beginning of the video, I wasn't having any issues because quite simply, I wasn't cleaning that much weight. At the time of me thinking that my front rack was the GOAT, I was only cleaning like 255, 265. I think 275 was like my max. It wasn't until I hit a certain level, and guys, I'm not cleaning that much weight. All I'm saying is that I reached a point to where catching it with 3 fingers for me wasn't working anymore. I noticed that immediately when I started to try to clean 305. So like if you're kind of in that boat where you're cleaning 245, 255, 265, and you're catching it with 2 fingers or 3 fingers, I wish what I would have done is worked on my mobility a lot earlier, because now I have to kind of backtrack just a little bit to try to get some mobility back into my shoulders and lats. And to be honest with you, it's kind of holding me back a little bit. And that's just because I'm having difficulty catching it in the full grip or the 4-finger grip. And really it's just a different feeling in the third pull. But to be honest with you, man, I feel like more connected with the barbell throughout the second, going into the third pull, that kind of transitional phase. I'm feeling like really super connected because I'm not having to essentially release the grip on the barbell just for a split second in order to get 3 fingers underneath it. I now can just keep a full grip and then stay more connected to the barbell. And so the last thing I normally do before I really get into the cleans is I just do some muscle cleans, maintaining a full grip. And that's just exactly what it looks like, man. There's no science to it at all. So you can tell my elbows aren't going up that high on the catch clean, but it's just, I have the full grip. And so it's gonna be like just extra difficult for me to get my elbows up. But it's the start of the process to begin to get that mobility, or to introduce that extra mobility into your wrists and your shoulders. As I keep doing this, like I literally just started doing this, I didn't do any warm-ups before hitting record on this camera. And so that was the first time I was doing that. As I do my second set, third set, subsequent sets after that, you'll notice my elbows start to really get into it. And it's not until I get fully warmed up until I start feeling that extra stability in the catch. Last but not least, we're gonna go straight into the muscle cleans, straight into a front squat. And this is the last part of my warm-up that I normally do before I actually start getting dynamic into the movement. And that'll be the end of this video. And so normally what I do is slowly come up and then very slowly go into front squat and up. And this is a full grip. Okay, so I'll do 2 more reps. One more. So you can see I'm already opening up just a little bit more. I'm starting to feel more comfortable. And that's a full grip. Good workout too. So as you guys can see, as I started getting into it, started getting a little bit more warmed up, I was able to get those elbows up just a little bit more each time. And I always kind of focus on getting a full grip for the warm up. And then when I transition over into going into more dynamic movements in the clean, I transition over into doing just the 4-finger catch. As I wrap up this video, I'll show you guys what that looks like really quick. But once again, thanks for stopping by. If content like this interests you, check out some other videos on this channel, man. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.